Hello, my name is John Maupin, and you're now joining me in another edition of the Maupin Minute. I wanted to briefly show you what my storyboard is. This is not from this particular week, this is from last week. Last week, I decided to deal with a situation with the snow. So everybody knows right now, it's been the weather's been pretty bad. So I wanted to show you how I decided to incorporate it into my comic strip. In this week's comic strip, I show you how the funny guy decides to deal with the weather. In the first panel, he looks like a snowman. Can't see his face, can't see his body. So in the first panel, I draw nothing but the snow. He's walking in the snow, trudging along. Initially, when you first see the first panel, you don't know who it is. So all you see is a snowman with legs walking. Second panel, the same thing. But I start to zero in a little bit closer so you can actually see this particular object. Third panel, after walking through the streets, but you can't see the streets either because it's snow filled. He walks to his door, opens up the door. Fourth panel shows him, flapping along. And I'm going to zero in here in a few minutes so you can see like the lines that I make to show you that he's actually trying to shake the snow off. That's usually what an animal would do. Usually a dog would do that. When they get wet, they'll flap and shake and move all the moisture off of them. That's what the character does. By the fifth panel, he's completely clear. And see, the whole thing to this is, usually I try to do some without dialogue. That's kind of hard to do, but usually if you use a lot of dialogue, it kind of handicaps the viewer, whoever's looking at you, the follower of the comic strip, helps them along, it helps to break down what the story is. But sometimes I'll try to use some without dialogue to make you think. And a lot of times the comic strip without dialogue makes it funnier, if you can actually pull it off. So in this one I use no dialogue at all, no words. We have to follow it along, eyesight. So now I'm going to zero in and let you see what I'm talking about on each particular panel. See, on the first panel, this is what I was talking about. When you actually see the caricature trudging through the snow. The second panel shows him doing the same exact thing, except on this one, I start to get you a little closer. The figure starts to kind of shape into place. Third panel, so I can zero back out a little bit. You can see where the character has come to the door of his house. Fourth, that's when he starts to shake the snow off like a dog. Fifth panel, zero back out a little bit. You can see him, he's completely clear from head to toe. And that was last week's work. Last week's piece. I had fun making it, and I enjoyed it. I just enjoy the idea of sometimes trying to incorporate what's going on at the time. I don't always do it. Sometimes it has nothing to do with what's actually going on. But I just figure with all the weather and the problems people are having right now in the eastern parts of the United States, this would be a good time to put that down, makes light humor on the situation or something's bad. But from time to time I will do things like this. Weather usually is it's pretty good. You can find a lot of things humorous with that. Put them in comic strips. It'll be bad weather, good weather, because you can always make something funny. Sometimes, a lot of times, I'll take something like the sun, change that, turn the sun into a caricature, and make the sun have its own personality. With the weather, you can't do that so much, because with the sun, you can take that figure, put a face on it, draw a nose, and this and that. But with this, you can make the weather have its own personality without even seeing a face. You can just have those forces, fight against the character. Like on this, we know nobody would actually be walking around completely covered in snow. The snow does hit your body, but with this, you can cover the face up. Because we know if you're walking this way, you're not actually going to be, you can't see anything. But I take time out to show you this. And next week, what I'm going to try to do is work on showing you how I actually start doing the panels, the actual drawings of it. So thank you for coming, checking out another edition of the Maupin Minute. See you next week. Sayonara. Bye-bye.